The perception of China's engagement in Africa as inherently exploitative, often framed through tropes like death trap diplomacy, substandard goods, or political interference, stems largely from Western media narratives that dominate global discourse. These portrayals frequently overlook African agency, reducing complex bilateral relations to simplistic binaries of predator versus prey. Embassy of China collaborated with Perfect View Communication to organize a seminar and a book launch to clarify misinformation of narrative and celebrate the convener Raphael Oni, the author of Balancing the Narratives, amongst others. According to the review of the book, Professor Sharif Gadi Ibrahim, sentiment comparable to perceptions of the U.S. Western media's reliance on stereotypes, framing China as a neo-colonial power, often reflects geopolitical rivalries rather than ground realities, with reporting skewered by inexperienced journalists recycling outdated tropes. To foster balanced reporting, Nigerian media must move beyond Western-centric frameworks by amplifying local voices and contextualizing China's role.
In the 21st century, a lot of our people will operate out of ignorance. And for the audience, my exhortation to you is this. If you want to understand China, do what I think I did. I arrived in China in the March of 2007 on diplomatic tour of duty, and I left there January 2011, slightly above 3 years. And when I arrived, what I did was to accumulate, go to the bookshop, buy all of the books that deal with all the analects of Confucius, the Chinese sage who lived centuries ago. Now, if you go through that, you'll be able to understand China much, much better. Ideas drive reality, and it was his ideas, his postulations, his philosophies around the area. Primarily, he discusses thoughts on government, education, and ethics.
As the narrative come forward, we must be able to tell our own story. We must be able to say it the way it is. There is no how the Western world can give story and talk well like we, the African, say the story. Give our first-hand report. Today now, when you go around, see our road, see the railway, see our airport, all thanks to God and to China, through the BRI, the Belt and Road Initiative, through FOCAC, a lot. You can't name them all, what China is doing. And it has done, and is doing, and it continues to do. When we count our good, you will definitely see that China is there. As we speak to you now, go to the airport in few hours' time. Ethiopia Airlines will be loading people traveling out of Nigeria. Chunk of them are going to China. What for? Capacity building. They are going for training. Most of us here, but virtual majority has gone at one time or the other. For all expenses paid by China. And when you come back, you become a better person. These are some of the things I said we need to put down together. Let the world know that of a truth, China is not a stat master, is not a slave driver, is not about death trap, but it is indeed a friend of Africa, one that wants liberation for everybody. Today now, you and I, we are here, we can speak freely because of the knowledge we have. So what else am I can go on and say a lot of things about China.
Being part of China is still part of China. What is expected of Taiwan and China is peaceful reunification. Because as we earlier stated, the United Nations organization does not recognize Taiwan. The United States of America did not and do not recognize Taiwan as an independent entity. It believes and it knows that Taiwan is part of China and Taiwan is a territory of China. Then some other misconceptions is that China is abusing human rights, in China. And this is also wrong, because China is a country that believes in constitutionalism and upholding rule of law. And that is why the most disciplined people you see on earth are the Chinese people. Because of what? Respect to constitutionalism and very disciplined. It's just like in Nigeria. The only way and manner for you to make a Nigerian obey the laws is when you strictly, exercise that particular law on the Nigerian people. Everywhere you go, people are free to do whatever they wish, but every society does not seem to be an animal kingdom, but every society should reflect that particular humanism and live like a human society with rules and regulations governing the conduct of individuals within the society. And the author suggested that the way and manner to change these particular misconceptions, misperceptions, and misunderstanding of China is when we actually hold training to conceptualize and reconceptualize our relationship with China. Further understanding through training, through seminar, through symposia, which will actually give and provide a better understanding of our relationship with China.
Distinguished guests, esteemed dignitaries, families, and friends, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for making my husband's book launch a resounding success. Your presence and support means the world to us. To the dignitaries who took out time to join us, I thank you all for the encouragement, the inspiring words, and adding value to this special occasion.
Mohammed Jinadu, Voicetv Nigeria.